for our previous session, remember? So just zoom out, zoom in to our area of interest, which is Tuppa in Kuba. Just go that and open that view. It's next to your Dahan Road, near King Park. So in that case, we have files because for the last session you gave us the network files, the zones.
Yes.
And you have this time?
Yes. In the network zones?
Yeah. The roads, zones, network files.
Yes, yeah.
So that we can.
But this is what we need.
No, not for this project.
But somebody will have to. I didn't do it. But somebody will have to. Huh? But somebody will have to.
So in that case, what do you suggest? Should we start with them this 4-step method?
Yes.
Okay, so
How to put the third generation?
do you think they are? Yeah. Last year they were present for this. So I hope they will
remember.
Yeah, they will remember. They remember. So then, if I start with generation, so do you think it will be okay from theory perspective? No?
Theory is okay, forget about theory.
Okay.
Go to the how to do third generation to distribution select.
Okay.
Okay? For example, I have a zoom, how to put the three grades, how to put this from the manual, all these things.
Okay, so let's always, what is the, okay, we'll start today. In the last session, we tried to do assignment-based model where we used a self-created matrix as a demand. So this time we will try to create a demand from 4-step model. Okay, which is a travel demand model. Trip generation, distribution, mode choice, and the assignment. Okay. So after trip distribution, so the answers or the output of trip generation is the tables, fraction, productions. The output of trip distribution is the matrix. That's the matrix which we self-created in the last lecture. So today we will try to do these 2 steps and then we will run the model and see. Okay. So before that, always before creating a new model, we always create certain things, certain categories. Okay. Today we will start with function classes. Okay. Before starting our product, we will create 2 types. Say, okay, to make our work less loaded, and also we will try to create a transportation system from the scratch. Okay. So we need to inform our model, our software that this is our transportation system. Transportation system means what kind of modes are we doing. Okay. So first of all, let's go to the demand.
Shall we continue from the last class or
No. This is
new?
You need to say new file.
Okay.
New file. Then you see where he went to the demand.
So new file,
So
and I
first
hope
step.
that all 5 of you have reached at this point, which is basically Tuppa in front of us. Okay. Okay, all of you has reached this point. Zoom. Okay, and after that, if yes, okay, just say no and I'll stop there. So just go to from the menu bar, go to the demand. First options, which is the transportation system, demand technique. And here if you see, by default, we have a transportation system because in Germany, this is the predominant system where we have walking, car, bicycle and bus. That's under PUT. Remember, this bus is under public transport. So here when we are doing generally in what we call it in South Arabia, travel tour model. We are doing it for the private assignment. Okay? We are not doing it for public transportation. For public transportation, timetable management and there are different techniques to do that. Okay, so this 4-step modeling we are doing for under the category of PRT. So we can model buses as a PRT as well. Okay, we can model AGV. For example, we did that. One of our project was a railway project, and we did this railway, the project of whole railway as a PRT. We can do that if we have the volume, demand, and all that stuff. So in this case, let's say that we create another one HGV, high heavy good vehicle. Okay. So in that case, just say create. And code say H, name HGV. It is under PRT, and this is PCU. What is PCU? Yes, passenger car units. So basically, in case when you need to model or you need to consider other modes such as heavy good vehicles or buses or trucks under the category of PRT. So we don't do that. Yani we do not tell software that this is not like VISUM. Yani we do not. This software has not the lengths and the weight and the power and the acceleration of those modes. So in that case, what we do, we give the PCU again. So and it is like, for example, generally the buses or AGVs are 1.5 times a car. So and it is the standard basically. You can get it from any standard. I don't know about the Saudi Arabia doctor who have any standard for PCU here. Passenger car unit equivalency rate. Yani bus is equal to this much car, truck is equal to this much car, trailer is equal to this much car.
It
depends on the car.
No. It depends on the line, for example, 30 kilometers line.
Okay.
But most of the time, passenger car and bus is about 2.
2? Okay, so
the new Ashik is 2. It used to be 1.5.
1.5.
So the new one is 2.
Okay, so we use for our example 1.5. So if we see 1.5, so what does it mean? Automatically our model will consider this number AGV. If there are 1000, so it means there are 1500. It is equivalent to 1500 cars. Okay, so it helps us to have an accurate figure of delays. After that, just say okay.
Can you repeat the process again? Just
In that case, you need to cancel. I can't do cancel. So basically, create under transportation system. Create. Here I said H as a code.
Why you need to do this? They need to know why you are doing this.
So I told them that we need to always before model we need to explain the transportation system. So this is defining the
transportation system.
Yeah, this is defining.
So H, for example, explaining the transportation system.
No. We have this transportation system where we have buses, cars, and AGVs.
Okay.
And we need to define that. We need to tell our model that these are the modes or these are the transportation system in our model.
So when you create, go to create, please.
So when we create, we need to explain that.
What they have
Code.
here?
So code is for our easiness. Yani how
For example, car.
So car is already there with C. Car is by default in VISUM. Car
This is extra.
Yeah, this is extra. We are adding AGV.
Okay. This is for extra things.
Yeah.
It's not available in
By default, it's not there.
Okay.
It's not there. So we are creating and we said age.
A new one.
Yeah, new one. Age. And then the name, we said AGV. I'm not doing it again because it will create again.
AGV.
And then we write in PCU 1.5 and that is the type is PRT. Okay.
PRT. Oh.
So then automatically if you see in the mode we have age, we have demand segment age. So all it is created automatically. So now whenever we will do a generation or a matrix, we'll have a matrix for heavy good vehicle and car. Yes.
The difference in the types, PRT, BUT.
PRT is private assignment. Okay, and BUT is public transport. So public transport is entirely different. The modeling is different. Technique is different. Okay, so four-step modeling or our typical private assignment modeling, this is different. BUT modeling is generally with the timetable management, timetable. I don't know whether you have studied mass transit. You know, it is time scheduling and time management and timetable planning and tools.
Where is it here?
Here we are not doing public transport.
Yeah, but here we have create.
Here if you see, if you create, of course you can add all the different types. Yeah, you can add a sharing, you can add BUT, or you can add BUT walk. BUT walk means from stations, for example bus station
Okay.
to your cycle stand, you walk.
Yeah. So just for creation.
That's what it
When you mode, this is not the basic mode.
is. No.
This is to create a mode. This is not the basic mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is from demand and the first option of transportation system.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, bicycle, let's delete that because in our case we don't need that. And what will happen whenever we will try to create something, the option of bicycle will come. So we don't need that. So just delete the option of bicycle. Just click number 2 and say delete. Okay.
So for deleting edit, then delete.
No, just delete. Directly just select that option
Okay.
and delete.
And edit, what is edit?
What?
Edit.
Edit, yani for example, you said this code, I want to change the code, not age, AG,
Okay.
okay, or you want to change the PCU of it, or anything else. Clear up till now?
Clear.
Okay, so we say okay. So now our model knows that for under PRT category we have two modes, AGV and cars, and AGV is equal to 1.5 times the car. And now go to links from your network objects, from your under your network object on the left window, and say right click list, right click list, and there are two options, links and link types. So this link type is called functional classes, very important and useful tool. So link type means functional classes. Functional classes yani primary road, secondary road, tertiary road, highway, freeway. Okay, so you need to classify those roads. Always before starting your project, define your transportation system, define your functional classes, so that you don't need to do the changes in the middle of your model. You know, then you need to do that at various stages. You may miss few. So in that case, click link types. You will see this window. Empty of course, by default 1. So let's name the first one. In Tukba, how many doctors you want? As an example, 3.
What?
How many functional classes in Tukba roads? Let's 3.
Yeah, 3.
What do you call it? 3. One, the middle one.
The highway.
The surrounding we say highway.
Highway and
Yeah.
arterials.
Arterials. The 10th street, Makkah Street arterial, and the middle
Another
one.
one is let's call it
Collectors.
collectors.
Collectors. So for collectors, how much is the capacity?
Capacity collectors, you can say, for example,
700?
Huh?
700, 600?
600.
600. For the arterials, 900 or 1200?
No, I think for the arterials should be more because you multiply by 2.
Okay.
So it is about 1,500 something like that.
Okay, 1,500 for highways, we take it 1800.
Yes.
So, what I discussed, you should know that the capacity of the roads. I explained to these 3 before. Of course, I assume you know it, the capacities. Okay, so where can you get these capacities? Of course, from the standards. Okay, highway capacity manual, ASTO, you will get these standards. So, standards mean yani every road type or road classification has a certain capacity. And these capacities, remember, are per hour per lane. Okay, per hour per lane. So if there are 2 lanes and we have a collector, one capacity of 1 lane is say 600. So 2 lanes it is 1200. Okay, so per hour per lane, that is the capacity. So we will create now as an example, we will create 3 road types. So first is collector. Always start from the highest category. One we say call it highway. So just say highway. highway. What is the transportation system we need? We need for car and AGV. Again, after writing car, highway, second option is transportation system set. Yani which transportation system you need on this road? Because there are possibility that there are certain types. We have done many projects where we say that, oh, this is a truck lane, or this is a truck lane, or this is dedicated for the cars only, for example. In that case, under transportation category, we always say for car and AGV because we have that. Then number of lanes, we will do that when we are creating our networks, and when we are making roads. Right now, don't change any number of lanes. Capacity. So here capacity for highways 1800.
1800.
And what is the maximum speed on highways generally? 110.
120.
Okay, that is a multi-lane highway capacity. The free flow speed. So here we write 110. And that's it. Don't change anything. Forget everything. Okay, so we change capacity to 1800. We change free flow speed V0 110, and we have set transportation system. Now say go to plus, just above your number, this plus icon, create another one. Now name that tertiary, arterial. Okay, that is arterial. Arterial road, in this case we call it again. You can copy paste as well. In this case capacity is 1500.
Or passenger car.
Yeah, all passenger car. This is all for PRT. Okay, remember, we are not doing or anything focusing on PUT. PUT, whenever I say PUT, public transport. PRT, private assignment, yani car, private mode. So in that case, the speed should be not more than 80. Clear? And the last one,
What about the capacity?
capacity is 1500.
15. Achha.
Yeah, and then we write the last one, which is collector, and the capacity for the collectors are say 900, and speed is 50, 60. Let's say 60, just for the sake of change, or just let's say keep it 50. Okay, keep it 50 so that we have significant difference when we want to see the choices, the road choices. Okay, so everybody achieved that?
Yes.
Clear? So you will see in later in today's lecture. Yeah, everything is up. Okay, so we should have these three functional types. Okay. So now let's come back to our main network, and perhaps you already know that now with the plus icon you can create any object. In VISUM it's different. In VISUM I told you it's with the plus add mode, insert mode, or edit mode. You can edit with this icon, and you can add with this plus. So let's go to the zone. From here select zones. Okay, for Medina project, what did you do? You imported the zones. Remember, you imported from the ArcGIS, and generally GIS files, you have shape files and you import. Okay, or in this case we are creating. So of course for learning perspective it's better if we create. So go to plus icon. I hope you remember from last.
Forget it.
They forget it. Let's see. So now.
No, I think they know.
So let's create how many? Say 5, 6 zones. So I will try to make it quickly myself.
Why you didn't take that one?
Yeah, I will change.
Because I think it's correct.
Hmm? No. You, just a moment. Always another thing I want to tell you that when we are making a boundary, so remember this road, this one is used for both. Okay, so that is a boundary basically between two zones. So it should not cover like I should not do like this. And it should not, this zone should not be like this. Okay, why? Why I am saying that if you zoom, because this is a collector road, and this collector zone is for both. Yani both can use both zones. The sharing, the neighboring zones can use this collector road. Okay, so in that case, do not just make such a boundary of the zone. What does it mean? It means now this collector is just a part of this zone. Other zone cannot use it, cannot enter or exit. So in that case, we always keep this at the boundary so that both this one and the next one can use it. Okay. So in this case, when I will be making a road in the middle at the boundary, that will be used by the, can be used by the both zones. So similarly, try to make more zones. I hope you remember. Let's see. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Always anti-clockwise. Say make this zone bigger.
Why you combine
Okay.
this zone?
So I just make it bigger, for example.
Yeah.
Of course, we will not be creating.
Yeah, because there is a root there.
Yeah. There are more, of course, but for example, it will otherwise we cannot complete in this type thing. So we will try.
Let's show them an example. We give them a sign. They will do it.
Okay.
They will, Mr. Aftab,
Yeah.
here we just written examples. They will do it later on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is I just show you the steps. They will do it
So,
yourself.
yeah,
or
that's
also
the,
by area.
we cannot do everything
Okay.
really in this small window, of course.
This is clear.
So technically, it is like this as I am making. Yani. Okay, we will try.
This is just خلاص enough, Mr. Enough. And they will complete it themselves later on.
Yeah. Okay. So of course you will cover all. And as I told you, you can make zone size bigger. You can permit yes, and then you can add. Sorry, permit. You can add face. We call it add face. Anywhere. Sorry, you can split it this way. You can split it. No, not this. Yeah. And as in the first lecture I told you, the centroid in edit mode, you can change the position of centroid by just dragging it. Why it is important? We saw that in the when we were inserting connectors. So you reach any problem? Just explain. Just tell me. So I assume you all have done that. So how many zones we created? 9 zones. So you are able to create 9.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Hmm?
1, 2, 3.
Yes, brother Ala. Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Created. you?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, brother. No. Just ask if you have, so that we are at the same stage, everyone of us. So now 9 zones means what would be the metric size? 9 by 9. We'll have now 9 zones, 9 attractions, 9 productions. Now we'll see. Fourth step. Where is the fourth step? This is the fourth step. So that example, I already have shared this presentation before as well, and now it is still with you, sitting in this desktop. You can open it for your. And always remember, after this training session, you need to come and you need to practice more. You know, things go out of mind very quickly, especially in these when it in case of software. Okay, so just for your own project, just try and go through your own worksheets again. So these are very, very simple, very good exercises, but in your case we have created 9 zones. So this is the VISUM island is with the 4 zones. Here you can see 4 zones, but you can and these by the way, these are just for us. Yani these slides are created for the what we call it trainers, but of course I have already given. So you can see, so step-by-step tutorial. Yani they tell you that okay, go to demand, then demand models, okay, and then click this, do that. Okay. So if you are forgetting anything from my lecture, or if you are forgetting what were the steps or what were the steps, so just do open this slide and try to do yourself. Okay. Very, very useful.
Also, you can use this slide to convert into your project, into the homework. Okay, you can take from here and close in your data. Okay.
Okay.
Your presentation.
Okay. Now, in this case, we need to create a demand model. So in VISUM, there are different type of demand models available, but of course we will focus on the 4-step classical method. So in your case, go to PTV software, go to demand, then demand models, the third step. Demand models, the third option. And here you say create. When you say create, there are options. See here in the type. So here you have, you can't read it here. So there is standard 4-step, which is our rocket model, classical 4-step model, EVA, tour-based model, activity-based modeling. You must have seen, in the planning classes, activity-based models and tour-based models. So again, different people, different theories. Some says this is good, some says this is good. This 4-step model is the most easiest. It comes with easy assumptions, less data. Of course, activity-based model, you need more data. Tour-based model, you need more time-based data. So in this case, we have this 4-step modes. In modes, you go and you say car and only AGV. Say OK. Under the modes, select it, only car and AGV. And then just say in this case, you have created a model. So now person groups. So now you have one model. From the drop down menu you can see one, but of course at the same time you can have multiple models and you can select person groups. So
Shall
when
I
you say
click
that,
load model?
yeah?
Afterwards, shall I create a
No, so it's created, already created. When you say create, it will try to create another one.
Okay.
Okay. So just delete that. So we already have created. Now go from the tabs, shift to the person groups. And from the person group, because we already have just one model, So by default it is under the model. So person groups. What is person groups? For that and another one. So what is person groups? Because you got some classes from doctor in the recent weeks. So what do you think? Activity pairs, person groups.
So it's based like on the VISUM or on the model, like for example, Saudi, non-Saudi.
Groups.
Different types of
Different person groups.
based on employment.
Based on employment, based on
What age?
age, yani going
Gender.
to school one,
Yeah.
or working, or shopping, or different. Okay. So person groups. So very good definition. Here, you see. Here we are saying that how many person group we created in Medina model?
I think
Saudi and Saudi.
Huh?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Okay, Joseph. So here the person group means now for your example for Tukba, you need to know that what kind of information you have. You need to ask doctor. Okay. For example, in their case, they have the data of employment, non-employment, Saudi, non-Saudi, age-based. Okay. So why it is important? Because I told you one example. If we have a zone, say zone 1, there we have 1,000 population. Another zone is zone 2, where the population is say 4,000. But in 1,000, you have 900 who are employed with cars, and in 4,000, say the population is more like a, you may say, retired people.